We're back with the '08 Dodge Avenger. It's having a no crank, no start issue now. And here's an example of what it's doing. Put the key in. Nothing on the dash. Nothing at all. So I looked it up online, and it's saying it could be a person online said an ignition fuse needs unplugged and plugged back in because it's causing something with the anti-theft system. Another person says it could be a bad wireless remote sensor thing underneath the dash. So I don't know. What I'm going to do is, clearly I have the tire popped off. I'm going to get behind this thing. I broke that off on accident. And I'm going to get behind this splash guard. The battery's back there. I'm going to test the battery with my DCM meter. I already checked up here where the terminals are to jump it, and I was getting 4 volts. So I'm going to check at the actual battery and see if there is any voltage drop or whatever. And then the rubbing sound that we heard earlier in the test drive or in the other video, if you look right there, that's where that rubbing sound was coming from. So just as I suspected, it's the dust guard for the on the hub assembly. So all I got to do is pull that away from the rotor right there, and that will get rid of the rubbing noise. And then obviously I got to get the car started. So I'll be back with some results, hopefully. I got the car started. What I did was I set my DCM meter to continuity, that little symbol with the sound waves, and I checked all the fuses to see which ones were bad and which ones were good. I only found one bad one, and as you can see, it's still unplugged. I'm going to go ahead and replace that. I have one at the shop. But I also unplugged all of these relays, and I checked the continuity on all the relays and plugged them all back in. And for shits and giggles, I set the DCM meter back up to voltage, and I checked the battery terminals up here, and I was getting 12.4, which is standard for a good battery. And before, like I said, I was only getting 4. So now I got 12. So I was like, okay, so I did, someone read on a forum for me the other night that unplugging the ignition fuse, I think what they meant was the ignition relay. But unplugging it and plugging it back in would fix the problem. And the problem is, it being winter, you're wearing hoodies and stuff, and getting in and out of the car creates static electricity, and it affects the system. And it does something to this, and it messes it up, and it causes the anti-theft system it prevents the car from starting. So just simply unplugging it and plugging it back in fixes the problem. So that's what I did, and like I said, I checked it with the DCM. I got 12 volt, 12.4 here. I went ahead and got in the car. As soon as I opened the door, it started dinging on the dash, and I looked at the dash. We had power, so I stuck the key in, and it turned right over. I'm super paranoid about turning the car off and turning it back on. I'll do that right now, just to double check and make sure that I actually did fix the problem. Alright, here we go. Off. We still have stuff on the dash, so that's cool. Awesome. Problem solved, I would say. That is a bummer about the static electricity. Like I said, I'm not making this up. I'm not trying to screw anyone over. I literally just checked the fuses, unplugged the relay, plugged it back in, and fixed the problem. I don't know of any part that needs replaced. I couldn't find anything that was bad. on, like, that would lead me to find something that was bad. I couldn't find anything online. So I'm going to go ahead and say this is the issue. This was the problem. The problem is fixed. Whoever comes to look at the car, if you don't look at this video after looking at the previous video or whatever, I will mention this. It does suck about the static electricity or whatever, but at least we know how to fix it, and it's pretty simple. You just unplug this, plug it back in. Those relays are covered with this black box over here. This one right here. So let me grab this real quick. And this is what it'll usually look like under the car. So just like that, right by the terminals. I still have to fix the dust cover, but I'm going to fix that now and throw the wheel back on, and that'll be that. But I just wanted to update the issue with the car and then the fix with the car, and just, you know, everything is out there. I'm not trying to hide anything. This is what it is. This is, you know, I'm trying here to be open and honest, and I hope you guys appreciate that. Any questions or concerns, please text me or call me. The number will be in the post, or leave a comment down below. Bye.